Hey,
Hey, yo, welcome
you know what?
everybody to Through the Lens.
Can I say something? I'm going to switch.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
This is
I like it
better.
better this side.
Okay, there you go. I like
Yeah.
looking this direction to see you too.
And
I
then
like
for the
looking
people that are
towards my
listening on the
mic to see you.
podcast, I just switched us from
You
so
know
they
what?
understand what's going on.
We like to switch things up around here. We're switcheroonies. We like to be keeping things spicy, keeping people on their toes. We can't
Yeah,
be having them get bored.
I'm starting to wonder if you have your own dictionary.
I am creating my own dictionary all day, every day, absolutely. That is what I do. Listen,
You create all kinds of weird words.
Shakespeare made up words. I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And so I do.
So everybody's drinking tonight.
Everybody is this is
What are you
coffee.
drinking?
I got coffee, which you don't
See?
even
I don't
which you
drink
don't even
coffee.
drink.
No, I don't drink coffee.
You
I'm
are so
drinking
beautiful.
G0.
I mean,
G0.
listen, be hydrated. That's a good
And
thing. You gotta stay
I'm not sure
hydrated.
what Tanner's drinking, but it looked like it was some type of alcohol.
Well, we can ask him when he comes
Yeah,
up for tea time
yeah.
with Tanner. But I
And
mean, it's good for you
Jack
to
is
stay
drinking.
hydrated.
Jack is drinking bad. Is it Bang or bad?
Bang. Bang. It's an
Bang.
energy
Bang.
drink. I
Okay.
love it
Mm.
because big bang.
So everybody,
That's what we got. We got a pro wrestler. It's a big bang. It's a big deal. I'm pretty
yeah,
excited
yeah.
about this.
My
Listen,
head went in a
go.
completely different direction when you said that.
Oh, what? Yeah. Should we talk about your recent movie film scene? Was
What
that
do
the
you mean?
direction it
No,
was
no,
going?
we won't talk about that. We
I
won't
love it.
talk about that.
Do you know what
So
might happen?
for people that don't know, I was in a movie at the end of June, beginning of July, and it was great. It was a great part that I had. And I was the movie's interesting. We're eventually going to get hopefully the director on, and
Oh
I'm
yeah,
hoping to get the actor, like the main character, on as well.
yeah, for sure.
Basically, the movie was called Modern Horror. Now,
Which sounds like an
when
adult film, but is not. Let's just all let everyone know Bryan-jon was
yeah,
not.
no, and it's not even a B movie either. So
It's
put
not.
that out
So it's
there.
not that either. There you go.
Yeah, it's not a slasher movie or
That's
something like that.
well, but that would have been on brand for
Yeah,
the season, right?
yeah,
Spooky season.
yeah. So my part was basically I played.
You were kind of
It's hard to
almost a
say. I
ringside
don't know if I
announcer.
can really talk about it yet, but
Well, listen, let's just
I played a
say.
hockey. Let me just say this: I played a hockey announcer.
Oh, I was gonna say you
And
played someone
yeah,
who would be able to hang out with Jim Ross for like wrestling announcing, which don't think that if we have a pro wrestler on, I'm gonna be asking about like some classic WWF,
break the rules. No, I
WWE,
can't
like
break the rules, Tanner. Can't do it.
what break the
I
rules.
can't.
No
So
breaking the rules.
basically, what this movie's about, I can say what the movie's about because the book is out. The book was a bestseller,
Hmm.
by the way. So, as far as I know, but the movie is basically about a stripper that turned to prostitution because of COVID.
Well, at the pandemic, and listen, that's not.
Yeah. So
I think we all know, unfortunately, that was
yeah.
not an
So
uncommon
not
story. A lot of
only
people,
yeah. So not only is it a film, but it's also a documentary at the same time.
yeah,
So there's going to be people that are going to be interviewed during the movie. So it's actually interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
yeah. No, that is
It's going to be on
interesting.
Crave if people
Cool.
get Crave. So that should be a lot of fun. But
Definitely want to check that out.
the name really takes away from what the movie's really about, because
Well,
I wish it was
I
under a
listen,
different name.
I was
But
gonna say,
you know,
listen, you gotta when you're on, you gotta grab headlines, you gotta grab attention. So like I get it, you gotta do something that
yeah.
kind of gets the attention.
So right after this, I have to part ways with you right after this because I have an audition that I have to do tomorrow night, and
Oh, practicing
it's
lines.
it's 2 pages of lines. There's
Oh,
about
I'm excited.
30, I think there's about 35 lines that I have to memorize.
That's nothing.
So
That's nothing
it's
for
funny
you.
because I just got it yesterday, right? And I don't always like to receive those because there are 2 pages and there's a lot of dialogue between me and my reader, the person who's going to be reading for me. So yeah, so I got to do that, and then next week I have another South Dakota that's due for commercial.
Whoa.
So yeah, so it's going to be a busy. It's going to be a busy.
You know what, Bryan-jon? I would practice lines with you for funsies sometime just to be silly sauce. You know I would.
When I need a reader, I'll get you to read for me.
I told you, I would.
Let's talk about this for a minute.
Let's talk about like which one Health Empowers You. Get on over there to healthempowersyou.net.
That's not the right one. That is not the right one, but you can still use this one.
There you go.
Yeah, so this is mainly for GGH Live, but I will say a Health Empowers You.
Teas, coffees.
If you don't know, you can go over to their website. It's haleighoverseth.net, as you can see in the bottom ticker there. And if you want to pick up right now on the website, we have what is 200 healthy smoothies that you can purchase. And basically, it's a PDF file that you purchase. It gets emailed to you, and then you download it, and you have over 200 healthy smoothie recipes. Now, the great thing is, starting yesterday, we have come out with
an extra set.
We have come out with another smoothie recipe, and that is for diabetics.
And it's
there is 25 healthy smoothie recipes for diabetics that you can purchase, and you can use Haleigh's name, Haleigh, to just to let her know that you support her.
Yeah, Frankie's
but if you want to buy the 200 smoothie recipe, you can use Frankie05 and you'll get a 5% discount. And so I think that's a pretty good deal. Now, what's coming on down the road is teas and coffees.
But also I appreciate you, Bryan-jon, for adding the 4 diabetics. My dad was diabetic. He would have appreciated having some sets just for him. Yeah. So like nice of you to add that extra.
Well, I was thinking, what else could I do? What else could I do for smoothie recipes? And I came up with another idea, and I think it'll be great. I don't know how I'm going to do. I might do 30. I'm thinking about doing post-workout.
Oh, yeah.
Post-workout smoothies. I think it'll be really good.
Oh, yeah, so definitely.
We'll see if that happens. But coming on further down the road, there will be teas and coffees. But I did want to mention this. Starting next week on Health Empowers You page on Facebook, we have a gentleman coming on the page. His name is Darren Robinson. We've actually, me and Lex interviewed him, actually. Cool. He's been in the fitness industry for 30 years. He is now going to be on Health Empowers You Facebook page for subscribers only. So he is going to be starting from the start on your healthy journey. He's going to be helping people get into shape, lose the weight they want to lose, and all those wonderful things. So it's for subscribers only. You go over and subscribe to Facebook page, Health Empowers You, and you will learn from somebody who has over 30 years of fitness experience in health and wellness. So now the guy that we're bringing up right now, as people know, is Tanner. And a week ago, I spoke to Tanner because I'm trying to convince Tanner to do the same thing, because Tanner's in the health and fitness as well. So here's Tanner, and you ready to see Tanner? Or
I'm ready.
Do you have anything to see or say? Do you have anything to say?
I'm just so excited for this whole episode. Tanner's got a fun topic to bring up with us that I'm pretty stoked about. And I have a little story that I can tell, actually, that just happened last night that will go along with his topic, actually. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
Just make sure it's a little story, because we're going to have Jack in the back.
Oh, don't worry. Jack in the back. Jack's in the back. Him out of the box.
Just make sure it's a little story. We don't want him to.
Don't worry. We're going to bring him up. No.
So let's bring up Tanner. Here's Tanner. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me back on.
You know, it's funny. And I think I told you this before the summer, that there's a radio station here in Ontario. I think the radio station throughout Canada. It's called 590. It's a sports channel. So I think you remember me telling you this. Mm-hmm. There's a radio show that I listen to sometimes. It's on between 4 and 6, and they bring on a guy. His last name is what's his last name again? Fierro, something like that. I can't remember. He was a hockey player. This is a hockey show. And so he comes up. They bring him up at 5:20 or something like that, and they talk for 10, 15 minutes. So every time I bring up Tanner, I think of that show. And I know it's weird, but
I like it.
I'm into hockey.
Not?
I'm a huge hockey fan. So so that's why I listen to that show. If you are you guys hockey fans?
I like Letterkenny.
Either you like what?
I like Letterkenny, the show Letterkenny. That's what
So you're not hockey fans then. Maybe we'll ask Jack if he's a hockey fan.
For sure. I like going to the local
because there's a guy
event.
in that show that used to play in the hockey league, NHL, and he played for Toronto. He played for North Carolina and Carolina Hurricanes. He played for them for a long time, and he was a Leaf as well. He retired a Leaf. But anyways, I digress.
Tea time with Tanner.
Tea time with Tanner.
Now, what I will say is, if we continue saying that, it's going to take the input of that. So let's tea time with Tanner at the beginning, and that's it.
Cool.
And but I like it. I like saying it. I think
tea time with Tanner. That's it.
I'm going to turn background to be on like a golf course.
Yeah. I think we're going to have to change it.
Do you know what? I'm gonna write a little jingle. I'm gonna write a little rhyme, a little song, and then we'll just sing a little ditty before.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was thinking, you know what? I got to redo our intro because it has Lex in it.
Well, let's write a little song.
I need to redo our intro.
Well, we'll figure it out. But Tanner today I'm so excited for your
Tanner
topic.
has an interesting topic.
This is one, it pops up every once in a while. And whenever I talk about this specific topic, I do have to give a disclaimer when I'm talking about real estate. So I am a licensed real estate agent. For those of you who don't know, I am licensed with eXp Realty LLC here in Tennessee. And I do real estate and I hunt ghosts. So I keep those two things pretty separate, but every once in a while it creeps in together, and I generally get this question when it does, and it's like, hey Tanner, so if the house that we're looking at, like, if you think it might be haunted, they have to disclose that, right? And the truth is, it depends, and it depends on what state you're in. So there's this thing called a stigmatized property, and whenever you look this up and you're trying to look up laws or anything like that, a stigmatized property is the National Association of Realtors says it's a property that's been psychologically impacted by an event which occurred or is suspected to have occurred on the property, even if such event has, or especially if such an event has no impact on the physical part of the property altogether. So it doesn't actually damage it or do anything like that, but it could negatively affect the value of the property. There's a couple of states where if there is suspected or it is known to be haunted it does have to be disclosed. And there's 3 states, and that is Massachusetts, Minnesota, and New Jersey. Anywhere else in the United States.
Minnesota, of all states,
random.
I would not have guessed so close to my home. Fascinating.
Case law. So like there were some lawsuits and things. Basically, like, if you go to sell a property and Zach Baggins has been there and it's been all over television and you don't disclose that it's haunted, you're in trouble. So like there's a couple of different types.
What happens?
They can reverse the sale. So if the buyer wants to get out and they're like, man, I don't want to live here. I didn't know this, because it could affect the resale of the property. It can also
even if they've been there for, like, let's say 6 months.
I'll say most places, when we're talking about tort or we're talking about cases like this, most places are within a year of purchase.
No, wow.
I would think that this would like make this price skyrocket. Like
that would it depends, and like this is where it comes in. Stigmatized property, you have a couple of different ones. You have like murder, suicide. That's the big one that people think about. And the truth there is, most places you don't have to disclose that either. Here in Tennessee, you don't have to disclose. It is buyer beware. But there are properties, California, Alaska, South Dakota. A ton of places do have laws where if there's been a murder, there's been a violent crime, and that's going to affect the resale of the property, it has to be disclosed. So like that's where you have to know your local laws. And I'll drop a link here in the show notes. It has a list of the states where you do have to disclose and where you don't have to disclose, and just lines on the different disclosure laws. And I'll drop that here in a minute. But if you're buying a house, you're looking at a house, or if you're a paranormal investigator and you're trying to find the history of a house, a lot of the real estate tools kind of come in handy there, One, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that link here, is dieinhouse.com. That is a website and database. It's the largest on the internet that'll tell you if a death occurred on site in the property. So
Is
if you're
it terrible of me if I just want to go on there to look?
Go check out your house. If you don't mind not being able to sleep at night, check it out. Yeah.
Well, but that's my little tiny story for you actually on this topic. I want to check that dieinhouse.com. Like what? Yep. I need to know. I need information.
You can take that. Unless you see the site, you can take that like several different ways.
I am going to go down that rabbit hole later for hours. I'm going to spend hours on that website. I guarantee you. Yeah, my tiny little story is just that last night I went and got into bed, and I know what. So my Bryan-jon, I don't know if I ever told you this, but like my apartment was empty for a very long time, unusually so. Before
what do you mean empty?
Like for like over a year, they couldn't rent out my apartment. Like my apartment was empty for well over a year, and they don't have like. I didn't ask about it, but I was like, is it haunted? Is it because it's haunted and nobody wants to live here? Did someone die in here? Last night, I got into bed, heard a big loud crash, got up to see what it was. This tray, I sent it on the Parapost. I was going to ask Glenda. Oh, yeah,
I saw that. The candles,
that
right?
Tray of candles. That was some heavy candles, and that was not like perched precariously by any means, but it like the whole thing was off on the floor as if the tray had been pushed like off of the back of the toilet from behind, like the tray and the candles on the floor. And I was like, okay, hi, who's here? Hello.
I would have whipped out my SB7.
I want to do just an entire podcast on talking to real estate agents, and I can keep it anonymous because I mean, we go into houses and we're alone in houses getting those things ready to sell, especially if we're, as an agent, we're also caretaking for people if they have abandoned a house. So we've got to go in, take care of it, make sure everything's staying clean, and make sure that we can sell it. Everybody's got some sort of story of something weird that happens in one of the houses they sell.
I would love to hear those stories. 100%. Yes, please do that.
You are like.
I'm gung ho. I want to know. I'm like, what?
You
Tell
are
me
a
the
strange
story.
Individual.
But here's the thing, though, like
in a good way.
I'm very Lydia. Like, listen, Lydia from Beetlejuice is my spirit animal. That's who I wanted to be when I was a kid.
Was I wrong what I said earlier, though, Tanner? About what? Haleigh? About she needs her own dictionary?
I did. Listen.
I mean, I get it, but like, I'm around a lot of Gen Zers and millennials every day.
So you're like, I'm used to that. They just, I understand that. Yep. There you go. I dig it. Well, Tanner, that is just so fun and so cool. Tanner. Thank you for that rabbit hole that I'm absolutely going to go down later.
Yeah, no problem. And what's interesting though is there's another side to that where, like, if you look at the Conjuring house, the reason that it is so desirable right now is because it's haunted. So there's a whole subcategory where it can actually improve or increase the property value if you find the right buyer.
So is it true? Have you heard the rumor though? Who's possibly going to buy it?
I have heard.
Do you think it's
rumors.
True? I heard Mike. What's his name? Rife, the comedian's going to buy it.
Yep.
Really, Matt Rife?
Interested. So like, I haven't heard anything concrete, but I've heard the same thing that hey, they're open to it, but I haven't heard that she's getting ready to sell it.
Well, she bought. What did she pay for it? 1.4.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was 1.2.
Okay, it was somewhere around there. You know the original the guy that sold it to her. You know how much he paid for it?
Mm-mm.
He paid $450,000.
Yeah. Look at that ROI.
Sold it for one.
Well, this is what I'm saying. How do I go? I'm gonna go on this dieinhouse.com and start. What properties do I need to start buying up because they might?
My question is. She's in real estate. She's a major real estate company. What are they going to sell it for? Because obviously they're going to want some money for it.
That's what I know.
Like Matt Rife, I'm sure he definitely has the money for it for sure. Yeah. But and also he's into paranormal big time. He's actually got a group, and I know he goes out with Patty Negri sometimes. And maybe that's a person we need to have on the show. We've never had her on the show. I know Patty, obviously. Because of Paraflix, and because she's a part owner of Paraflix, and so I know Patty Patty Negri quite well. And in fact, here's an interesting thing. I was this close on getting her show onto Parapost Network.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
I think I remember you talking about it a while back.
I'm trying to, when I speak to her again, I'm going to try to push her to come on. But because she's on LinkedIn as well. I don't know if anybody knows that. What?
Bryan-jon, introduce her to me. You think I couldn't convince her to come over? Guess what? I make best friend sauce with everybody immediately. You know this.
Yes. Patty Negri is
Patty, come hang out with us. We're super fun.
Patty Negri is a ball of energy. Okay, bud. Thank you.
So we need to come
guys.
Thanks, Tanner.
We'll see you next week, Tanner.
Later,
ciao,
guys.
buddy. Bye.
And now I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Guess what?
Yeah, I think I'll
Nightmare on Your Street.
I'll message her to see if she wants to come on.
No, you should.
And she's always very happy to come on anybody's show, even though she does a lot of work for Zach Baggins. It's
it's cool. It's cool.
She's a consultant. She's a consultant on the Ghost Adventures show.
No, I would love to talk to her. I think that would be super fun.
She also appears sometimes on his show as well. But yeah, Patty Negri's fantastic. I still believe she is part owner of Paraflix. I believe she still is, but I'll ask her. But anyhow, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now,
introduce your buddy.
Our buddy Jack
now, are you
going
to tell the people how you met Jack?
I randomly met Jack at a gas station in Brandon, South Dakota, because I'm a wild, weird person and I just start conversations with random people and get to know the fun things about them somehow. And it turned out that Jack Kruger is the Nightmare on Your Street for New Sound Wrestling. He's a pro wrestler. What? Excuse me. Must need to know more about this. Bring up Jack. Hello.
There he is.
Hey, how we doing?
How's it going, buddy?
What's up, yo?
So
okay, I am a little bit of a crazy person.
Let me say this. Before you start, Haleigh. Let me say this. Okay. When I messaged you the other night, Jack, you were pretty stoked coming on.
Oh yeah.
Now after listening to Haleigh for a little bit, are you still that stoked?
I need to increase. That's why I got the bang. That's 300 milligrams of caffeine. I got to be able to keep up.
You got to be able to keep up. I'm a little bit bonker doodle, then you got to be able to run around with me. So I thank you for having an energy drink ready.
We really need to create a new dictionary for Haleigh. What was that word you just said now?
What did I don't
something
even
doodles?
know.
Bonker doodles?
Something.
Bonker doodles? That's one of my favorites. Bonker doodles. That's one of my favorite sauce. I tell you what, gentlemen, don't worry. I am writing my dictionary. I'll put it out as a book on Amazon soon. Everyone will be able to buy it. It'll be great.
Go ahead. I'm going to share the show out.
Oh, yes. Jack, now tell us. I'm so fascinated because you don't expect to just run into pro wrestlers randomly hanging out in Brandon, South Dakota. It's not something that I anticipated would happen to me that day that I would meet somebody.
That I actually I shared that interaction with at least 10 or 15 of my friends. Because
I'm so glad to know that I'm
just standing there. I'm working. I'm watching anime on my phone while I'm talking to my Marlboro cigarette rep, and we're talking about pro wrestling and everything too.
Your what?
My Marlboro cigarettes. My representative that comes out and make sure all the prices are right and everything like that.
Oh wow!
And Haleigh comes in and he had to actually come back in because he forgot to take his photos of the displays and everything like that. Okay. And I'm just standing there, ringing her up. You total's $14.82 or whatever the heck it was. And he's taking photos and she goes, "Oh, it must be nice having your own little photo shoot here." And I'm like, "Oh, he's taking photos of smoke, so I get enough photos taken to me in my extracurricular activities." And she paused.
She could have went in. She could have went in several different directions with that.
Yes,
and she knew that in the moment. How inappropriate do I get with a perfect stranger? What kind of jokes am I allowed to make here? But also,
there's a
I must
reason
know
why
more.
I say things the way that I say them.
Okay,
it's funny to me.
I get it.
It's funny to me, and bless you for that.
I do pro wrestling in my free time. I got 58,000 followers on TikTok. People recognize me, and then I look at the TikTok comment. It's like, "Hey, it's the gas station dude." So I get recognized for working at a gas station too. But that's how that interaction went. We exchanged I looked up Linktree, contact information, everything like that, and the balls rolled.
To make sure she was safe.
Oh,
she wasn't a stalker or something like that.
She's a pro wrestler, and I'm 5 foot nothing.
It doesn't matter. Stalker's a stalker.
Don't worry about it. I'm
they
only
hide
just
in the
a
bushes.
little bit.
They hide in the bushes.
Hey, as long as you buy a ticket to come to the show, you can stalk me a little bit.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, see, look at it. Permission granted. Thank you.
I will say.
I'm gonna regret that later.
I will say. I will say.
You might, and I'm tiny, and I can hide in
Raymond
bushes real easy.
It's the gas station dude.
It's the gas station dude.
So obviously Raymond knows
followers.
Raymond, do you know this guy? Do you know him? Raymond knows everyone because he's everywhere all the time. I think he has like 6 laptops at home opened up to everything because he's everywhere.
Just got like security stuff, just like watching the whole world.
On every podcast, I put something on social media on Instagram. 10 seconds later, he's liking it.
Okay.
He's just aware.
I had to do a little bit of a dive before I hopped on here. I'm like, okay, well, who's this, intimidating Bryan-jon that I'm in a group chat with now?
Oh Lord, here we go.
That's right.
So I'm looking, all of a sudden I start seeing, paranormal stuff like that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I am fascinated now.
Yeah.
Because that's literally what my best friends go out and do this all the time. They've been to, Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Villisca Axementor House.
Yeah, I have a group. Well, it's just me, but I usually go out with people. I usually collaborate with other people. I bring somebody, or my son comes out. My thing is called Huntophobia.
Okay.
And you can find it on YouTube, but you can also find it on a streaming service like Netflix. It's called Paraflix. It's exactly like Netflix, but it's called Paraflix. You go over and subscribe, and it's hundreds and hundreds of different paranormal shows all over the place. I love that
you've got paranormal friends too, though, that are going out and doing stuff. They got to come hang out.
My buddy, he's my friend Jason has told me about this. Which, in doing some looking, sadly, I can't vote for you as the next face of fear. I voted for his mom.
No. I pulled out.
Okay.
And there is a good reason why I pulled out was because of the fact that I saw a lot of. I don't want to get too deep into this, to be honest, but the reason I pulled out is because for some odd reason, something just didn't feel right.
Mm.
So I started looking around and started doing some research. And there's plenty enough videos on YouTube telling you that it's a scam.
Okay.
And it's a money scheme. So basically, the people that really make it are the ones that people have bought votes for.
Mm-hmm.
So, and unfortunately, the winner they pick is not because they came first place. It's because they chose the person. Now, you got to keep in mind too, that, and this is something else I found out that I wasn't too keen on. And I don't know if a lot of people know this or not. I was not going to mention this on anywhere on social media, but some people don't know this, but only fan girls sign up for this as well. And they actually get their clients to go in and buy votes.
Oh.
So they're the more likely ones that are going to be standing at the end. But what people don't realize, I think it's like 9 rounds or 13 rounds. This goes all the way till November. The people that are number 1 right now will not be number 1 when the time the contest ends.
Well, guess what? We'll just start our
I didn't like the whole money scheme that they're forcing people to go in and buy votes. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the last couple of years, this company, which I find really, really interesting. I got a few things I want to say about that before we move on here. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That runs the things. Yeah, I'm sure.
They make hundreds of thousands of dollars. And apparently 25% of it is going to a charity. Where's the other 75% going? When they apparently they make a couple of million during this, 2 to 3 to 4 million. So, but what I found really, really interesting, and there's one guy on YouTube that questions it a lot because he was involved with it. The Kane Hodder or whatever his bloody name is.
Okay.
He doesn't,
Jason
he doesn't promote it at all. It's nowhere on his Facebook. They brought out a video recently on YouTube that was filmed at the beginning when he was first involved with it. He's not involved with it. It's a scam. It's a scam. No. And then the guy that's running it has nothing on his Facebook page. Now, if you're running a contest like this, do you not think it would be all over your Facebook or all over other social media things? It's not. It's not. And that to me was really, really questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and started looking at YouTube. I punched it in, Face of Horror Scam. Video after video after video popped up. It's a scam. It is a scam. Now, when I left, I was sitting number 1. But I just to me, something just didn't feel right. And I don't want to get involved.
You got to go with the things that you build from the ground up, right? Yeah. And the things that are more sort of grassroots, which is where, Jack Kruger,
there's one guy.
That's where you're at. Is the grassroots sort of thing.
There's one guy on YouTube. He's got video after video after video of it being a scam, and he's had guests up there that were involved. That's how I found out about the Only Fangirls that are getting involved with it as well. If you've noticed, only girls have won the contest. No guy has won. So, and there are 2 guys that are making the final pick, I guess. But apparently the photo shoot is a joke. It was done with an iPhone. So apparently there's supposed to be a photo shoot for a magazine. It was done with an iPhone and the pictures were shit. So, and these guys are making millions and they can't afford a photographer, a professional one. I'm sorry. It's just too many. There were too many questions and I just didn't feel right. So I pulled out.
That makes sense. Yeah. Totally makes sense. Now I got stuff to look up.
Yeah.
Now you got a rabbit hole to go down.
Exactly. And I did,
because at the end of the day, your friend is involved.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll be talking. Yeah, my best friend's mom. She actually started just doing she's retired. She's bored at home. She started making literally masks, cool stuff like that.
Oh, I love that.
Right? He's an audio engineer. He makes video games.
You know what? I'll be honest and say that.
Oh, that's cool.
I will be honest to say, yeah, it is happening, but at the end of the day, it's all about money. Whoever gets the most money, whoever gets the most votes with the amount of money that was spent on them are more than likely the people that are going to win.
Oh yeah.
So, and apparently the 13,000 after taxes are taken, you get about $3,500.
Well,
so it's really not 13,000 that you're getting. So,
not worth
and that was another thing too. So,
well,
you're not really getting all the stuff they say you're getting. So, anyways, let's move on. Let's move on.
I gotta say here, I really did enjoy that Tanner's tantalizing trivia. That was awesome.
Tanner's tantalizing trivia. Now that is I like that.
That is a tongue twister.
I'm a sucker for alliteration. So.
Me too. Hi there. High five, friend.
That was awesome.
That's
especially because my dad's hometown is Laverne, Minnesota. So fun stuff about that. My dad worked at a haunted movie theater in Laverne.
Okay, cool.
I love
movie theaters, especially when they're haunted.
I didn't know there was a haunted movie theater over in Laverne.
I
got to investigate that.
I have one right down the street from me. And it's called the Elgin Theater. It has been around since the early 1900s.
But I love that. I your friends who paranormal investigate. We got to we got to get how do we get a bunch of pro wrestlers to a paranormal investigation at a haunted theater?
That would be cool.
Send off a text message and say, "Yo, you want to do this?"
I bet they say yes.
Right?
May I just float it out there to them, just hey, how about, because we got the global ghost hunt coming up the 17th to the 27th, we could do an investigation. Oh, that would be super fun.
Actually, why don't they come out on your investigation that you're supposed to be doing?
No,
when are you doing it? Have you done it yet?
I've done. Yeah, I got to send you some of the videos and stuff. Yeah,
well, so one of them. The whole video.
Well, I got bunches of stuff to send
Don't separate it. It's got to be 1-2 hours.
Don't worry. I got stuff to send you, Bryan-jon. Don't worry. But that would be super fun. Bunch of wrestlers and just in a haunted theater. I love this. So tell us.
Would we have to be in gear? Would I need my Nightmare on Your Street?
But that would be fun.
Like spandex, baby oil, the whole works for everyone. Is that a thing?
Okay, hold on. I don't wait. Is this the whole? Now I need to know. Is that what you do for the? Do we get full on the outfit? And tell me more.
Oh no! Oh, well, see, I'm built like the number 0. So right now I'm wearing jeans and a black T-shirt. I got to change into my wrestling jeans and my wrestling black T-shirt.
Oh, okay. I see.
Basically
I got you.
Yeah, it's the Nightmare on Your Street. I kind of figured more of a street gimmick. So I got tattered up jeans that I've patches sewn in them, and I got a leather cutoff that somebody gave me, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I wear. But I definitely, most of my friends tend to go out there in tights and baby oil.
Okay, but like that would be a hilarious paranormal investigation. I kind of love that. That would be great. Tell me though, how do you get started? How do you come to a pro wrestling extracurricular? Yeah. How does that come about in life for you?
I saw an ad on Facebook.
That's all it took.
Yep. I've been a pro wrestling fan since I was a little kid. One of my earliest memories is my mom won tickets to a WCW show in the 90s when I was like 2, 3.
What?
I just turned 30, by the way, if that helps give context here.
Okay, but you were taken to wrestling as a toddler.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
I have a photo of me as a little kid with a giant Macho Man Randy Savage hat on.
I love it.
Which, if you notice at the gas station, next time you come in, you'll see I have a Slim Jim holder that is Macho Man Randy Savage.
No, I saw that when I was there the first.
Coming home with me.
That will be coming home with me.
Yes. So I was a fan ever since I was a little kid. And then, kind of how it goes with wrestling, at least watching it for me, was like, I'd be really hardcore into it for a while, and then not so much, and in and out, up and down. So I kind of got back into it, and I was hanging with my my buddy, one of my best friends in the world. His name is Cole. And I was sitting in my pickup outside of this is when I was working janitorial at the time, and I saw an ad. Like, Midwest All Pro Wrestling, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, ran and operated by former WWE superstar Eugene. Nick Dinsmore, the guy who trained John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, all this stuff.
Cool.
Shut up.
Cool.
And I'm like, wow, this is in Sioux Falls. Like, I called my buddy. I'm like, yo, let's go. And I don't know if the video's still out there now, but if you watch one of their, where they crowned their first world heavyweight champion, you can see me and my buddy in the second row just watching. And we sat in the front row for 3 years, just drinking beer and talking trash.
Yeah, I love it.
Every time Eugene's like, "Hey, when are you going to sign up? I got body slams and elbow drops for it." And I'm like, "I don't know.
I got body slams and elbow drops for you." Yeah.
And one night, I'm hanging over at my other friend Jason's house, and we may have partaken in a few adult beverages. And
as you do.
At 2:30 in the morning, we're like, if we're not going to do this now, we're never going to do it. And we signed up for a 2-week camp online.
I love it.
A couple weeks later, we get to this place. We're in a wrestling ring with a former WWE superstar, and I severely pull abdominal muscles, and he tears some of his abdominal muscles. We end the night in urgent care.
Oh.
And last month was my 6 years in the wrestling business.
That's just so fun. I love that.
You're talking about going to the WCW. I went to WrestleMania when I was in Toronto.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and I saw Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. That's when Hulk Hogan picked up Andre the Giant and slammed him.
Okay.
And,
you were there live for that?
Yeah. I met a lot. I've met a lot of wrestlers. I've met Macho Man Randy Savage.
Amazing.
I've met Hulk Hogan when I was in Florida. He lived in Venice Beach. I was staying. Yeah, I think he's still there. I was in Sarasota, and he came in to a fast food joint, and I think it was McDonald's or something like that. But anyways, I met him there. I met the Iron Sheik.
Amazing.
And I've met so many. The Iron Sheik, I was really blown away with because One, because he was a very large man. He's not very tall, but he was probably I think he was probably about 6'1", 6'2", somewhere in that area. But he was very large.
He built like a wall.
But he was the nicest guy you could ever friggin' meet. He was so nice, and he took pictures with us and all that kind of stuff. And we knew they were going to be there too, because we had heard something about they're going to be at the airport, and so we ended up meeting a bunch of them. But I met a lot of wrestlers over my time, and I will say one thing about wrestlers, and it's pretty true for most of them. I think they're all fantastic people.
I was gonna say
they're all fantastic people. I don't think I've ever met one that was an absolute asshole. You know what I mean? Like, they're all really good people because.
Well, I was gonna say, look at Jack, who just decided to come on the podcast, even though I'm a little bit of a crazy person, just like it.
Yeah, she didn't corner me behind the store with a knife or anything at all.
Right? Come on, I could have been a lot worse. I mean, in all fairness, that is true.
There you go.
I could have been a lot worse. Tell me a little bit though about, like, so you've done this for 6 years.
Yes.
Like, what is the sort of traveling, or like how does it work for the circuit that you're in the Sioux Falls area? Like, what's your
I haven't really traveled very much, just with like, you know, jobs and stuff like that. I used to be working a lot of weekends and everything like that. But I know a bunch of my friends, they're going all over the, you know, Midwest area, you know, down to Omaha, Nebraska. Some people go have traveled to like Wisconsin or Montana, North Dakota, everything like that. The farthest I ever went was for a Midwest All Pro show in Dickinson, North Dakota.
I know where Dickinson, North Dakota is.
Yeah, yeah. My normal go to with that is, if you ever decide to drive 8 hours across North Dakota, don't. I saw a tree and like a tractor, and that was about it.
You are talking like where I grew up. That like I am a tiny town nowhere.
This sounds like the real backwoods of wrestling. This is the backbone of wrestling. This is where it all begins.
Outdoor rodeo arena. Yeah, it was very, very entertaining. I took a pedigree from Eugene that day. That was fun.
Yeah.
What was the outdoor temperature? Can I ask what time of year in North Dakota?
It wasn't horrible. Like, it was probably, you know, about 75, 80. But like, we did a show.
As long as it wasn't like some wintertime stuff, because wintertime in North Dakota is, you don't want to be there.
No. So this is the hillbilly of wrestling.
We did train for we were in between training facilities for a while, and we did train in a garage with a propane heater.
Interesting.
I love it.
So like, I don't know how many matches you've had. So is there one match that really sticks out that you'll always remember?
I mean, I'm not going to include like my debut. Like, obviously that's a big one, but like, cause it was just, you know, wrestling in front of my family for the first time. My tag partner and I, you know, we were in training one day, and we didn't have our characters, our gimmick yet. And we're standing there like in the corner, just arms on the ropes watching. And Eugene goes, "You know, we need some security around here. Top-notch security." That was it. Get security shirts, get black pants, hats, everything like that. And then 2 years of doing that, we changed it up a little bit. And what's the next logical step from security guard? Rappers.
Absolutely. Obvious choice.
But we kept going with like the next, you know, the Friday after next, you know, top-notch security of the world, Craig. Top-notch security of the world. So we went to top-notch entertainment of the world.
All right.
I had this big white and gold jacket and gold chain, captain's hat.
Oh,
and
very
then
nice.
One that sticks out is the last match that Top Notch Entertainment had, where sadly we lost the match. I got choked out with a full Nelson. They started beating me down. My tag partner comes in with a kendo stick and, you know, chases them all off. It gives me a hug. "I'm sorry, I love you." Cracks it over my head. Beats the hell out of me, leaves me laying, bleeding from the head a little bit, welts all over my body.
Wow.
And that was when the Nightmare on Your Street was born.
Okay.
Now,
I see.
That's an important one there. The other one would be the face-off between Top Notch Entertainment. It was the iconic Alan Cole versus the Nightmare on Your Street, Jack Kruger, in a kendo stick on a pole match.
Kendo stick on a pole match, because that was
Yes.
part of the origin story. And
Yep.
how did that match turn out?
I lost.
Oh no!
I set him up for my finish, and it's my finish is one of my favorite pro wrestlers of all time is Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. He actually passed away like a year ago. And he did the Sister Abigail. So I would grab the guy, snatch him up, and spin him around and drop him on his head. As I was spinning him, he had a stick in his hand, clocked me in the head, dazed me for just long enough to get the win.
And double down on the Kruger name and the Kruger nightmarishness.
Yes. But my favorite of recent memory was the first time I actually got to wrestle in my hometown. Because I've wrestled many times there's a brewery right outside of town. We wrestled there, but I've never been on Main Street in my hometown. And normally when I say standing room only, it's kind of a joke. No, I was in a barroom brawl against the Reflection of Perfection, Webster Prince.
I love it.
Yes. Want to take a shot in the dark? Who came up with that name?
Exactly.
So I faced off against him, and this place was packed. Like, people were watching from other rooms, and you couldn't get close enough to the ring. And I put him through a table, and I won.
I love that. Are there videos online of you putting someone through a table? Can I see them? I love those videos.
Not from that match.
It's saying nonchalant. I threw him in a table and I won.
Yeah, he threw him through a table.
No
biggie. I just put him through a table.
Another one of my go-tos. Bryan-jon, totally 100% honest. The next sentence I'm about to say to you is 100% true. I have put Webster Prince through a table that was covered in set mousetraps.
Oh, wow. Good
That's
Lord.
just a thing I've done.
Okay, well, there's a couple of questions there.
There's a lot of we need a video for that.
Why were there traps on the table?
Why
were the traps on the table in the first place?
He's like, what if we had a table covered in mousetraps? Oh, okay.
Okay, wait. So the person who
for you to throw him in there then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was his idea.
Yeah, that's a little out there.
So he wanted you to.
Yeah, he's also the guy that would gladly probably take a light tube over his head. I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I'm not a deathmatch wrestler. I'll do hardcore stuff. I'll get hit with chairs and have a cookie sheet wrapped over my head, or go through a table myself. I've gone through a table myself. That was fun as well. But I'm not like light tubes and like pizza cutters and staplers in the face, and not my forte for that. But I'm like, all right, you want me to put you through a table covered in mousetraps? I'll do it.
Oh wow.
So what are can I ask, and I don't want to like necessarily be NASCAR about it, but a little bit, what are some of the maybe worst injuries that you've had to deal with or that you've seen?
I mean, one of the just being in the crowd for was one of the guys that I used to wrestle with, and he's actually broken a megaphone over my head.
Oh,
this was years before he did that to me. He actually took a move wrong, and he broke his neck. And he's fine now, but I watched him break his neck in the ring. Had a dude jump off a ladder, and only like one guy caught him, and he was seriously injured. He's fine now too.
But like, and there's got to be just a little bit of. Because when it comes to this kind of stuff, whatever level of wrestling you're doing, there's always going to be some risk that you're taking, right? Like, and you kind of know that going in. But, can you kind of talk to me a little bit about that? Like, you and your wrestling friends, what, do you really try to make sure that you avoid that? Or is there some level of like, well, that's just a part of it, and that's kind of a little bit why it's exciting? Like, where does it come from?
We're not like, obviously we're not going out there to kill each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, you gotta hit me, but if you try to pull it back, it's gonna look like shit, and then we're both gonna look stupid.
Right.
So like, I don't throw punches when I'm in the ring because I'm not any good throwing punches like that. I'll throw forearms. I know where to lay them in, and it'll look good. It'll sound great, and you'll be fine. But obviously we're gonna. mistakes happen. I had a dude give me an elbow, it clocked me, and my jaw locked up for like 30 seconds. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. Yeah, I was fine. I was probably a little bit later. I'm like, okay, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, that's it. That is the challenges of wrestling, is that no matter what you do or whatever happens in the ring, you're going to get hurt. And whether it's some of the stuff that you're getting done to you, getting stuff thrown over your head and having your head cut open, is can't be a good thing. Now, have you ever done the razor blade and the tape in the wrist?
I have
come
not,
on, tell us if you have.
I really wanted to for the match I was in with Webster, but I was told it's another promotion's ring. Don't bleed on it, and I went, fine.
Oh, it's another promotion's ring. Don't bleed on other people's sets.
Yeah. The ring we actually used for New Sound Wrestling's first show is actually from Below Zero Wrestling, which is up in Fargo, North Dakota. Everyone should go check them out as well. And yeah, they actually drove the ring down to us, 4-hour or so drive. And we did the show with their ring, and it was absolutely incredible.
Oh,
now Hulk Hogan, like every time he wrestled, he always had some kind of cut on his forehead. Like I'd never seen a guy bleed so much, and he's got so many scars on his forehead now.
Between like him and Flair.
Oh Jesus! Like he's funny. Flair's funny.
Oh, it's so funny.
Funny guy. Funny guy.
That's a question though. Like, so for you, what are some of so you love Randy Macho Man Savage, right? But like, what are some other of your, would you call, inspirations or favorites or the things that really got you into wrestling or that you really enjoyed about wrestling before you got into it?
Honestly, favorite number one pro wrestler of all time has got to be the icon Sting.
All right. Rock and Rad. That's
not the guy from the Police, the other one with the face paint.
Yeah.
Like you said, I see the face paint immediately in my mind, and then I think of the Crow.
Especially like Surfer Sting was cool, but the Crow Sting is
yeah. Yep.
Sting for sure. Bray Wyatt was a big inspiration with just how I do stuff now. Obviously, I use the Sister Abigail as my finisher. I call it the Dream Catcher, and it's incredible. And honestly, like again, it'd be like Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Van Vader, bigger guys. I'm a bigger dude, and obviously, like I love like Rey Mysterio, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, everyone like that. I'm like, all right, but I'm gonna look a little bit more for guys that look a little bit like me, so I can do a little stuff like them. Granted, I'm not gonna be jumping off the top rope doing a backflip moonsault because I don't like heights.
Well, listen, that's fair.
I stay grounded.
I think one of my favorites has always been my favorite, and I think me growing up, Bret the Hitman Hart was somebody I really liked, and his brother, rest in peace, his brother who died in a wrestling match, doing something stupid. I thought that was the stupidest thing. So stupid to do that, coming down from the rafters and then falling and end up dying. But I think my favorite person was probably Andre the Giant was probably my favorite, and that's what I grew up watching. I grew up watching the Iron Sheik, Andre, Hulk Hogan, the Warrior, and the Warrior was at that match in WrestleMania as well. And
if guys with that same kind of feel that are doing it now, they're actually on AEW a lot. They're called the Outrunners.
Oh, I don't think
Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd. I was on one show with them. They're absolutely incredible.
Jake the Snake, Jake the Snake.
He's actually he will be in Sioux Falls on Friday.
Jake the Snake.
Yep, Jake the Snake. It's another promotion that I used to work with a lot called Flagship Pro Wrestling, and then I believe another associative company, Next Level Wrestling, down in Sioux City, Iowa. They are running with SuperCon, the Sioux Falls Comic Convention, which is this weekend.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in Jake the Snake and $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
I haven't heard that one in a long time. I was also Honky Tonk Man was a good one.
I met him. He was a pretty nice dude.
I met him too at the airport, and he was a good guy. But just when I found out that you were coming on the show, it just brought back a lot of memories from when I was a kid, when I was watching wrestling every Saturday. Yep. And then Saturday nights, they would have the WrestleMania, whether it was pay-per-view or whatever it was on. And yeah, it just brought up a lot of memories for me. So you're still involved with wrestling now, right? So
yes. Next show we got coming up with New Sound Wrestling would be November 8th. It is going to, we're calling our WrestleMania. It's New Sound Wrestling Anthology Volume 1. And we're bringing in former Ring of Honor superstar Silas Young, former WWE, AEW, and New Japan star Leo Rush. He's actually facing off against one of my best friends, DeLorean Diggs. Yes, DeLorean, that's his real name.
I love that.
And,
like you told me that. That's what I was like. Somebody's got parents that are Back to the Future fans, and I am here
and
for
then,
it.
Former WWE superstar Paul London as well, who actually huge horror fan.
Oh, what?
Him and I shot the breeze about horror movies for a while. He'd like, I showed him my logo, Nightmare on Your Street, Jack Kruger. He goes, "Hey man, here's my number. If you're ever in LA, I'll show you the Elm Street house." I'm like, bet.
Yeah. Yes. So where is it you'd like to go with wrestling? Would you like to go to those higher echelons?
That would be awesome. I think my main goal now would be I gotta, just travel, like hop in the cars with my cohorts, my friends and everything like that, and go where they're going and just travel around a little more for me. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. So paying your dues, right?
Yes.
Paying the dues. So how long have you been doing this?
It was 6 years in August.
Oh, wow. Wow. 6 years of a lot of injuries.
Fortunately, not a lot of injuries, but a lot of bumps and bruises.
There you go.
Every time you fall down in the ring, it's going to hurt because it's about that much padding and then wood and metal.
Yeah.
And a trampoline.
and putting people through tables, I'm sure. It's
getting hit with chairs, hitting people with chairs, stuff like that.
I dig it. I'm so excited that I bumped into you at a gas station because, you got to come hang out some more and bring on some more wrestler friends. I tell you what, y'all got to come hang out.
What I'm thinking is this. Is what I'm thinking.
What
thought hit my mind?
Let's hear
How
it.
far are you from this event?
How far am I from?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
This is where I live.
Yeah. So
it's
what
right
I was
in my town.
Suggest
it's right
is
here.
You go to this event.
Yeah.
You go to this event, record it on your phone.
We
bring Jack back on the show and we go through that video.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to.
A lot of fun.
I'd definitely have to get you in touch with the owners and stuff like that too.
Get me in touch because I would love to come and do some. I would love that and bring you back on and bring some of your peeps back on. And you could talk about the matches. We could kind of do a review of the event.
I can get at least 7 more people up on this platform,
and
we could do a big show
because two of the New Sound Wrestling owners, DeLorean and Amanda, they're actually married.
Oh, I would love to interview them and talk. That's so fun.
I officiated the wedding. I got ordained to marry him.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
That is
so this is what
fun.
we need to do. We need to. When's this event?
It's November 8th.
November 8th. So Haleigh will go as a. Hopefully, you'll be able to bring her in, and she'll get a little bit of special treatment. We need to have Haleigh with special treatment. And then she comes in and records everything as long as they're okay with it and records everything. And then we bring you back on the show and we go through the video. We bring some of the other wrestlers. We'll bring the owners up and we'll just have a whole 2 or 3 hour show of this. I think it'd be incredible.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm in. I'll definitely. I'll talk to them probably once I'm done in here.
I'm sure Haleigh will. Now, Haleigh, you have to remember though.
I know.
You're actually recording for the show and not going crazy and the phone's going all over.
Oh, you want me to listen? No, I have my friend Crystal Capricorn. She is my new camera person. She's got a lovely iPhone actually, and she is willing. She was the one who's been helping me record for my investigations, Bryan-jon.
Okay.
So she could come along. I'll be on the I could do the commentary thing, record and talk. I'm ready for this. I'm down for this.
Really good too is if you interviewed some of them during.
Right, so she can video me and I can do some the backstage interview kind of stuff.
Well, this is it, and then after their match, you can interview them. That would be super cool. You need to you would have to go a little step beyond your iPhone though. You'd have to get an actual camera.
Listen, guess what? She's got a GoPro too. We can rock and roll this, okay? We're ready. We've been preparing.
I think that's true. I think that's true, Raymond.
I think Raymond is like, Raymond can tell how excited I am. Raymond is just like, somebody help this girl. She's gonna lose her mind. Oh my! I do need a wrestling logo.
Actually, I gotta take a brief pause with the cause because Lucky, who just comment that popped up, she actually designed my Nightmare on Your Street logo.
Oh, okay. There we go. Right here.
Love it. That's so cool.
There you go.
Hey, hi
Yep,
there.
she
How you
designed
doing?
a bunch of my Nightmare on Your Street logos, most of which have not seen the light of day yet, except for my entrance video.
So let me take a look here.
We gotta get Lucky on here too, though. But like,
I'm gonna look at my calendar here. So we're looking at November 8th, you said, which is a Friday, right? So we do the show on the 11th, November 11th. Let's plan it
on Tuesday.
Let's plan it.
Tuesday night. Yeah,
it's a Tuesday, November 11th. We bring you guys back on. We show the videos. We show the wrestling matches. We show some of the interviews. And we have the owners. We have some of the wrestlers on here. And we'll have a big fucking blast for like 2 hours.
Just make Through the Lens the official podcast of New Sound.
What the hell? Why not?
Why not? Why shouldn't we? I love it.
I love it.
I'm
the
so
ultimate
jealous.
crossover I never knew I needed.
That you never knew you needed, but here you are. And aren't you so glad that little crazy person me found you just randomly one day?
That's it, Haleigh. There's always a reason for everything. You two were supposed to meet for a reason, and here it is. Maybe not the reason you two were supposed to meet, but I'm playing it that way.
I'll throw back to that last episode I watched. It was some synchronicity in the universe.
Yeah, that is 100% correct. The universe put it together. We are meant to do this. I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
Listen, get us hooked up with all the peeps and the owners. I'm so excited.
I will definitely fire out the messages and talk to them later on tonight.
Yeah, so then we get to, hey, at the end of the day too, if you take a look at it this way as well, it's free promoting for the
Absolutely.
people that own this wrestling,
Exactly. Now, do you guys have like a shirt or anything I can buy so I can wear it in the ring?
Oh,
I don't have a shirt. But interesting.
Well, guess what? Now we need Bryan-jon. Now we need to come up with shirts and stuff. I got to get on getting my Redbubble stuff out there. So
I just want one anyway, just because I'm a fan now. Like,
and we all need to have some Jack Kruger Nightmare on Your Street shirts.
I gotta get into gear. I'm making more of those too. And I mean, also go a little bit out there too, because everyone does shirts, everyone does hats, always does buttons. But I got a buddy of mine, my buddy Jason, I was talking about, got a 3D printer. So guess what? He made me. I got a bust. Who do you know that has a bust?
I love that. It's ridiculous. Oh, I love it.
I gotta say it. Now I can just play with myself on camera, and it's okay.
Let's see if we have Raymond's approval. Because Raymond's always at our show. Like Raymond's a good friend of mine, and a couple of years ago, or a year ago,
can you get to
a year ago? I was at, or 2 years ago, I was in Tennessee, Kentucky. We investigated together the Bobby Mackey's. Ooh. And great location in Kentucky. But so Raymond is part of the Global Ghost Hunt team as well. But yeah, I love it. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Let's get this together. But then
one thing I've never done is like the farthest I've gone with ghost hunting is playing Phasmophobia on my computer. Because I am what the French would call a bitch. But it does fascinate me. I find myself watching a lot of like the Holzer Files, anything with like Dave Schrader.
For sure.
Radio out of Minnesota.
Raymond is down. Raymond, come hang out.
Down.
Let's go to the.
There you go.
Like, okay, but how fun would it be if we would do like the wrestlers at the Haunted Theater, right, in Laverne for like the Global Ghost Hunt? Ask your friends about it, and then do the wrestling event, like.
Right, a wrestling show / paranormal investigation in the evening. That sounds incredible.
There you go. I think you got
Raymond. I know Raymond.
Jack. Raymond here.
Raymond's our boy.
Yeah, and just I forgot to mention this earlier in the show, but there are some links for this man Jack Kruger in the description. If you want to go over, go ahead. Just click on that link after the show, and go give this guy a follow. And
just check out Jack, and also
November 11th, we'll be back here hopefully,
and
we'll let people know that we'll be doing this wrestling show, and we'll have a bunch of them hopefully on board, but at least watching Haleigh's video. But
I would love it.
But I
Jack,
definitely want to
get you in Pete's bed.
We're over our time, but I'm looking forward to having you back November 11th if it happens. If
but
it
also
happens
get
the
more
following week, that's fine too.
Yeah, but get more of your wrestling peeps too on here, and all of our we've got more vloggers here at the Parapost Network who also have shows that might want to have you come on and talk.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not just
Jeremy,
wrestling, but paranormal and all that.
I know Jeremy Bryan will probably want to have you on his show. He does this kind of stuff as well. He loves wrestling. But
I love it.
Is there anything you would like to shout out? Anything you'd like to promote before we let you go?
The main things that I got, you can find me primarily that Jack Kruger on all social medias, primarily the Instagram and the TikToks. If you like random Bray Wyatt impressions or Crowley from the show Supernatural, I'm the guy for that. South Dakota Crowley. Yes, she also made my logo for that. Lucky did as well. Which if I
love Supernatural. I love Crowley from Supernatural. He's my favorite.
You betrayed me. No one in the history of torture has been tortured with torture like the torture you'll be tortured with.
I love it.
Dropping that quickly there. That Jack Kruger on all social medias. New Sound Wrestling on all forms of social media as well. November 8th at the Alliance, Anthology Volume 1, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's going to be an incredible night. Incredible event. And always remember with it, I am that shiver down your spine when things aren't what they're supposed to be. I'm that mare stomping on your chest when you cannot sleep. I am the middle of the night. I am the nightmare on your street, Jack Kruger.
That was awesome. Thank you very much, Jack.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to having you back. I'm looking forward to having you back. If you can just wait in the back for a couple of minutes, we'll be there in a couple of minutes. And we'll talk. Stick around for a few minutes.
Jack Kruger, the nightmare.
Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Thanks, Jack.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. You know what? That just hit my.
I'm so it's so good. You said that out loud, Bryan-jon. If you had kept that to yourself, I would have been a sad panda all day, every day. I need to go and do that. I'm so stoked to go.
I think it'd be a lot of fun for you. I think it'd be a lot of fun for the audience. Watching the wrestling and stuff like that, and it will be a lot of fun. And then hopefully you'll be able to get some of the other wrestlers on, at least the owners.
I'd get the owners on, get the other peeps on. Let's bring it.
Developing a whole bunch of new relationships is nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with some networking. Let's start you guys on your own YouTube channel podcast situation. Hi, hello. That's exactly what I will literally pay you all if Jack screams. Oh, yes. Let's please.
What do you mean?
The paranormal
Does he stream?
No, scream because for the paranormal investigation, they want to see him freak out and be scared. I want to go to a haunted theater and see some weird stuff happen and have Jack Kruger freak out about it too, and then go see him wrestle.
Yeah, so for the audience, just keep in mind, November 11th, hopefully it happens on that day. We'll let people know. The thumbnail will come up when the show happens, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I want to say thank you to Tanner for coming on today's show. I want to thank Jack for coming on today's show. Haleigh, as always, thank you very much. And we'll definitely see everyone next week. And thank you for all the wonderful comments. And Haleigh, if you want to say your goodbyes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thanks so much to Jack for being willing to follow a crazy lady onto a podcast that just happened to show up at your day job one day. And I want to just thank everyone from the Parapost Network because y'all are so super fun. And I can't wait. Bryan-jon, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm so excited for our wrestling fun times that we're going to have.
Yes.
Everybody.
We've discovered a new avenue.
A new avenue. Who knew that this was going to happen? And I've always loved wrestling. So
you didn't catch the pun there.
What?
We've discovered a new avenue. That's kind of his slogan.
On his new avenue.
On his
nightmare.
His street, right? His avenue.
I love it.
Anyways, thanks everyone. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, everyone.